many of y'all know that God is greater than anything? Everybody come on, everybody come on, everybody come on, let's go. Everybody come on, everybody come on, everybody come on, let's go. LA, make some noise.
So in terms of identity as a worship leader, you know, sometimes we suffer from identity crisis and that we try to imitate recording artists or Tye Tribbett. You know, we see the video, we rock out, and I'm going to do that in church. I'm going to do it just like Tye Tribbett. Instead of finding, you know, our own voices and our own strengths in leading worship, what would your advice be to someone who is struggling to find their voice or identity as a worship leader?
See, I think I'm a firm believer that leaders are not created, they're born. I think a lot of times we appoint leaders and we try to create leaders, and maybe some of them are not leaders. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard, because if you're a leader, and you do have your challenges, but with your identity, that means you're comparing yourself to Tye Tribbett, you're comparing yourself to whoever else is out there who you think is a better worship leader. And they might be better in some aspect, they might be better in this vein or that vein, but overall, if you're a leader, you are who you are. I think that's the biggest thing. The comparison is the thief of identity. The comparison is the thief of personal identity. So you take the comparison out, and you rock it. You are the greatest worship leader in the world when you remove comparison. So I would say glean from other worship leaders, learn from other worship leaders, get principles and even advice if you can from other worship leaders that you admire who's doing it on a level that you wish to perform on as well. Glean from them, yes. Let them mentor you, yes. Get advice, yes. Let them pour into you, yes. But compare, no. Because you rob yourself of personal identity. Rob yourself.
Awesome. In ministry, what are some things that you wish somebody would have prepared you for in this assignment as a worship leader and as an artist? You know, what are some things that you wish somebody would have put you aside and said, you know what, Tye, here's what you need to know?
I guess I just have to say what my biggest disappointment is. But what I wish somebody would have told me, wow, I guess what I'm living now, what I'm experiencing now, I'm experiencing a lot of disappointment in people. And I don't know if someone would have told me that my disappointment would change. But whether you're a gospel artist or not, this answer is not relevant to, I don't think, your question, because it's not about gospel music. That's just life, period.
Right.
Like, people that say your friends one day will turn out to not be your friends the next day. That's a life lesson. That's not gospel music. Let me go to your question. Gospel. I got it. I got one. I wish I was told that your responsibility is not the response of the people.
Yes.
Your responsibility is what you were told to do. Let's go to Moses, and then I'm going to come to Tye. You know, we're always from the Old Testament to the Tye Testament. Go tell Pharaoh, let my people go. He did it. And he did not get the response he expected. Pharaoh said no 9 times. So Moses was probably like, you know what I mean? If his focus was the response he expected from Pharaoh, he would have changed or maneuvered what God told him to do to try to get a certain response. I've done that so much. Like, because I look for a certain response from the people or a certain response from the audience, I've altered or maneuvered what I knew God was telling me to do but I try to get a certain response from the people. Your responsibility is not the people's response. They might jump, they might shout, they might cheer, they might sing. That's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to, first of all, seek what God says. Secondly, hear what God says. But thirdly, most importantly, do what God says as it pertains to presenting worship to the church. Lord, what are you saying for us this week? Okay, I hear you, Lord, and I'll do that. Period. And then follow what he says, regardless of the response of people. Now, I will hear God clearly. Our God's awesome God. Okay, our God is an awesome God. And if the people are not in, I will alter it. I will change it to get a certain response. And even if I do get that response, it doesn't mean that God is pleased, or that's what he wanted. So please him only, or please him first. And in pleasing him, he'll make right everything else. He has to be the focus. He has to be the focus. He has to be the focus. And lead people to him, and he'll make everything else right. Don't be swayed by people. Do what God says, and do it the way he gave it to you. Period. Because my way is very different. I don't know if you know. No,
yeah.
I'm very different. I'm very just different. So I was always, kind of like, okay, I'm a little weird. I don't know if the people like this. So I would change up how I would present my worship, and I wound up sometimes being unaffected. So don't worry about the response of people. Do it how God gave it to you, and do what God told you to do, and he'll handle the rest.